Hi everyone. Hope you guys are doing all well. Um, I titled this video Aries Full Moon PTS, Post Traumatic Stress, because it sure is one, and your mid October horoscopes for all signs. So, in this video, I will explain the fallout and the possibilities regarding the Aries full moon we just had on October 17th and your mid October horoscope, as it is setting up some future events. Please do listen to the intro, it will help you navigate the information, or you can listen to it after you skip to your sign. So, I usually do not do bi weekly or weekly scopes, but the first reason I decided to do it this time was because some signs were hit much harder than others by the Aries full moon, and mostly because some signs were left alone to deal with it, and left alone with really a sense of despair and hopelessness. While others, and so some who have not experienced a total loss or who did the leaving, are left with also a disquiet or fearful apprehension. Plus, we are also dealing with Pluto's lingering last degrees of Capricorn. So issues with power, fear, and control have once again raised their ugly heads up. Yeah. Mars is also running through Cancer, and for a long time, because Mars will do a retrograde here. I think it's in Cancer for almost 7 months. So family and home issues are all involved. Libra is here too, as an overarching theme of all kinds of relationships. Finally, because we are entering the upcoming dead of winter, the days are becoming shorter and nights are longer. So the holidays and all some people become sad during that. Not to mention an overall shift of some heavy duty planets, moving from calming water signs to the volatile fire signs and revolutionary air signs. Meaning, and the second reason I'm doing a mid October horoscope is because we are on the precipice of losing or wanting to maintain the tried and true, being inevitably pulled to this precarious uncertainty of the future. Um, yeah, I know that's a sort of a mouthful. And getting stuck in the past is not good. Yeah. Neither fearing getting lost in an uncertain future. So I felt that many needed some more navigation or some more reaffirming. As I mentioned in the Aries full moon opposing the Libra sun horoscope videos, which I will link in the comments, I mentioned in those videos if you are not fully affected, you definitely knew or are personally involved in some way with others with this full moon ending, because it was a very powerful full moon. And I will be the first to admit that some of us maybe did not do it justice enough or a good enough service for everyone, even though I think I did my best, but just in case. And also because of the many people, inclusive of my own personal experience, my family, friends, and acquaintances, or other people who have contacted me and are in like real despair or apprehension about what happened. So I will try again to navigate, hopefully, some of you, if not all, through the fallout, or as the title says, the PTS we're having because of it. Like I have mentioned, predictive astrology is not really to have you stop what is happening or coming, because it is where you need to be to evolve or to go on to the next step. And you do not really live, you don't live in a vacuum. We are social creatures. So while you may try to stop what's coming or what it is the other that you can't stop. Or in this instance, the planet's energy and vibration are just huge and very powerful and can't be stopped. And for others, hopefully you'll understand why some are acting the way they are, whether despondent or unusual. Finally, I want to reiterate what this ending means for the very near future and the theme for longer than that and what you can do about it. Because of all this, I don't want anyone, because of all these reasons, I don't want anyone left behind, especially um, for those who are heartbroken or in despair, to be swept up like that with the new energies coming in, because the baggage you take with you will color your choices of how you choose this new, for instance, Pluto and Aquarius, or Saturn and Neptune leaving Pisces and entering Aries journey. Remember, we can't change fate, but we can certainly choose which road to take or how to react. Okay? Just to mention here really quickly, if you would like a free birth chart, just Google free birth charts and get that. And you can see where Libra and or Aries are in your chart. Extend that to Fortuna and Juno, since they too are in Libra and Aries respectively. And whether you have those signs in your natal chart or not, look at 24 degrees in your chart to also see where that falls. And very important, uh, I almost forgot to get a clearer picture, is hearing your sun, moon, and your ascendant signs. Okay? So I'm not going to fully go into specific scenarios with each sign, as I have already done that with the full moon and Aries videos. Instead, I will just briefly mention what area the ending happened in and hopefully help you navigate the fallout and what to expect, um, your near regeneration or new beginning. And the longer theme um, is in that same area of Aries, along with your mid October horoscope or mid to late October horoscope that is also setting up some new movements. Okay, so with that out of the way, we're going to start with Aries. So I'll switch slideshows. Okay, starting with Aries. So there was an ending with or a loss of how you appear physically or how others see you, which was in opposition or opposed by a partnership, whether it was personal or business, inclusive of any rivalry or an enemy, or how a partnered or Libra person was cautioning you, maybe cautioning your haste and trying to make you see the pros and cons of independence or partnership, while your inner voice, and that could have been a sibling, was jousting for you to take a gamble on fate. Depending on how it all went down, this has set up a new opportunity or a revival of how people will see you come spring 2025. I can tell you that your persona will have an idealistic, um, or dreamy appearance to others when spring hits, almost an easygoing quality to how you appear. But you will have restrictions and boundaries, either by you regarding how far you will alter your physical self or obstacles to navigate around. And that's fine. I mean, that you need that because you need Saturn structure. Some of you are thinking of and maybe will try plastic surgery. I just caution you with being informed, okay? Because again, Saturn will be in your sign for 2.5 years too. Think of the restrictions or obstacles that went down during this full moon in your sign. That theme is set to play out for longer. For those of you despairing on what happened on that full moon, okay, so this video is really for you. It was because you're still dealing with something regarding your career and status and maybe related to the past. And that is simply Pluto checking in on you, taking you down to your inner self or back to the past as a caution to not revert back to any fears of control. now that you have Pluto's control. Meaning, if it is about yourself, don't go into fear mode, nor be a harsh or demanding leader on the other side, as maybe you have experienced with authority figures toward you. And if it has to do with another, do not use manipulation to control an outcome. Use your sheer willpower to have faith that it is by loosening control that you gain control. By early December, Christmas, and the new moon in Capricorn, Pluto is set to reward you with a very powerful career or status. I'm not too worried about you, Aries, because you have the ability to switch your mind and thinking pretty easily. Plus, you have many other things going on that will keep you busy. Now, regarding your mid October scope, Mars, your ruler, is in Cancer. So, your home and family sector, there is a lot of heat and urgency regarding your property, a property, parents, your own family, country, uh, or an apartment, or maybe a renovation. Mars will stay here for a very long time, like I mentioned in the intro, until April 2025, where it usually only spends some weeks instead of these months. This is because it will go retrograde. And that's the key. So just be aware if someone is rushing to move out, they may move back in, or vice versa. Maybe you're having your elderly parent or parents move in permanently, but it ends up being temporary. If you are downgrading or upgrading, be aware that there may be delays, maybe with a bank or some kind of um, uh, maybe some kind of contingency that alters or delays a closing. Or this could have to do with a renovation. Again, you may change contractors, or the contractor is delayed because he has his own supply issues, maybe. And finally, as I mentioned in your Aries full moon, it may be a discussion with your partner if a setup will be your place or her her place, your city or theirs, your in-laws or theirs, or how do you combine families? Maybe your children or theirs, or both of yours, um, like the Brady Bunch. Or maybe it is a split or separation that children have to shuffle between, and that restricts changes or delays a move. Suffice it to say, since Mars, the god of war, and your ruler, is all about action and not about talking, is in your home and family, do not be the first to start a conflict, because when it goes retrograde, that energy will be directed back at you. Yeah. You will need to be extremely patient, and that is possible even with uh, Aries, okay? If you remember one, it is difficult enough having more than two people deciding, let's say on a restaurant, let alone a family dynamic, agreeing on a house, apartment, move, or renovation. Even if one person is delegated as the, I'm doing quotes, boss, you still want everyone happy or close to that, since it is not only about you but others, and others are not strangers. We're talking about they are family, and it's a home base. And two, if you have plan B, C, and even D, you will not get frustrated with delays or reversals. You'll anticipate that. Okay, so still in play this month and until next year, May 2025, is Uranus and Taurus, and a surprise or two regarding your job and income, because we have Mars in Cancer will form a trine to Uranus and Taurus, a new job position or a lateral move, and same with your income that is initiated by or because of a home situation or a family strategy. This is setting up an exciting new direction regarding a new neighborhood, commute, or how you will be heard starting the end of May. Since we are also entering Scorpio weather, your joint finances is in the discussion, which colors the decision about your job and income. Or it could be simply regarding an inheritance, will, or tax, or government, or a grant that needs to know maybe about your job, maybe because It's a child school financing, something like that. Again, I'm not going to go into specific scenarios in this video. Um, and I will leave Pluto's entrance in Aquarius in your friendship and group zone in the revolutionary way that you will learn power and control in that sector for your November horoscope. It is exciting, but the clue is what you have experienced earlier this year in January, February. You will get that same big bump by mid-November, but I'll explain that in your November scope. Okay, Aries, if you were in the despondent group, I hope I helped you understand what is bumping against what. Or if you are dealing with someone else who is despondent, I hope I have raised awareness for compassion rather than, you know, um, being distant or being a hard leader. Okay, but Pluto has taught you well enough on how to be a good leader in your 10th house. All right, Aries, I'm wishing you the best of luck. I will talk to you in the November scope. Hi, Taurus. Okay, Taurus, there was an ending or a need to be independent of some type of secret, the past hidden constraining factors, which could have included faith, religion, maybe even incarceration of some type. Hospitals can be included here. Dreams, your demons, and the psyche, how you see yourself inside, which was in opposition or opposed by either your daily habits or routine, health, being of service to others, chaos, or gossip. Now, depending on whether you felt the ending personally or through others, it may have seemed that if only you could have a freer schedule or workload, you would be able to recall your past experience to maybe help yourself from within or somebody else. The universe and God in its wisdom was actually saying, no, you need to help yourself first. Only then can you help others. So, releasing the past and your psyche about it actually helps your daily routine and schedule to have a well balanced work, sleep, and playtime. Most of you were stuck between maybe the past and present, between one very important group of people and others equally critical to you, between obligation to your past and service to others of an equal importance. Through this experience, it has been a cathartic healing of a loss of some of your past, if or putting it to bed. If any of you are feeling despondent, so here's where the scope of this video is. Just know that this is normal, okay? Um, the feelings, the PTS we're having because of this loss. It would be abnormal for you to not feel anything. Luckily for you, your work and routine will keep you busy so that you don't fall away in depression. And just like Libra, what you need is a creative and conducive solution. Maybe meditation, yoga, exercise, or just simple walking it off. You will be able to feel much more balanced. Okay? Now for the mid to latter half of October scope. This Tuesday, the Sun in Libra will square Pluto in Capricorn for the third and final time in our lifetimes. This is about someone or something getting their just deserves. It is a karmic payback, if you will. So it looks more like you being some sort of a middleman or woman between two or more people or groups, and you see justice served. Okay, does this feel any better about the loss you have felt on the full moon? I'm not gonna lie, some of you will. For others, it will not feed your fire because you will realize that these groups or these oppositions that you're falling in the middle of, that they don't realize it is a sort of a war of the roses scenario movie. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that. It's about a couple that fight through divorce so much, trying to ruin each other that they ruin themselves. So, where everyone loses or everyone needs to have some gain for actual justice to be served. The other important aspect in the latter half of October is the sun entering Scorpio in your partnership house. How you are as a duet or as a duel will be on display to others by the sun. Mercury has already been here in the earlier, it's still here, and it came in the early part of October. So the discussion has been there on whether you are in agreement as a couple, or if you are in disagreement and you see him or her with the group against you, or it could be an enemy or a frenemy. If you have Libra in your chart, then your partnership situation that is on repeat about this situation, and maybe since last year, September, October, November, will end by next year, January, because the nodes, Aries and Libra, will move out of those north and south nodes. But in the meantime, it is about this serious talk, the signature and agreement. We will also have Mars in Cancer, sextiling Uranus in your sign. So maybe a synchronicity happens, maybe by a commute or a wrong text, or maybe through a neighbor. You're enlightened something about maybe you or your appearance. Or does someone reveal a secret to you, or are you doing that? Um, su- su- Surprises your family, the family, their family, because Uranus is in your sign, so you keep your physical appearance keeps changing and surprising people, or how people see you. I will end it here, as November will see a shocking bump up or down regarding your 10th house of career, status, powerful figures, and the World Wide Web, among other things. And that, even if it's a bump down, it's still something exciting and new, okay? That will revolutionize how you will go about controlling your career. Um, but that will be your November scope. And I hope for my despondent Taurians, I have given you something to chew on and look forward to the future. Alrighty, we will go up to Gemini. So, hi, Gemini. Uh, there was an ending or urgency to end with friends or a friend, groups or a certain group, associations, cliques, clubs, your hopes, wishes, or vision of the future. Or the group ended it with you, or a friend was clipped out of the group, which was in opposition or opposed, or because of a lover, romance, a child or children's interest, a pet, or maybe a gambling habit. So some of you, just like Taurus, may have felt it more through maybe a sibling, a cousin, or extended family, where it also took you back to something in your past, but more of a, I don't want to say dark secret, well, maybe a taboo, or something about joint finances, intimacy, and sex were involved. But this friend or past friend, or a past or current lover, may indeed be an Aries, a Taurus, or a Sagittarius. In any event, I have given you many examples in your full moon in Aries video. So I am not going to be repeating that, but I'm more concentrating on my despondent signs, um, because of the full moon fallout and the latter half of October scope for each sign. So, for my despondent Geminis, and even though you don't do the deep down and dirty, intimate conversations, or um, even with your own self, let alone others, but you rather keep it light, the trick is for you to take Pluto's last invitation down to into your underworld and see how you are doing before he leaves your eighth house by next month. This is your last chance to face your demons because this loss you experienced in your friendship house will neither cripple you in any way nor endanger you when you are or they have some type of a resurrection or a new beginning in the same area next year in spring. Like I've mentioned previously, it is a choice, your choice, whether you think it is worth it or not to go back and fix it. Um, or if not, you just feel so much has happened and passed that it won't be worth it. But whatever your choice is, Saturn and Neptune will be entering the same area of where the full moon in Aries was, your 11th house. So even if you decide against going back and fixing this particular event, a similar new event or regeneration will take you back to this full moon. So you'll be getting a second chance here. And that's for my despondent Geminis. Otherwise, my okay to do Geminis will find this new beginning or regeneration exciting. Now, for the latter half of October scope for you, early this week, the Sun in Libra will square Pluto in Capricorn for the final and last time in our lifetimes. An important relationship in your romance and children house will serve justice to your 11th house of friends, a friend and groups. So, yes, it has to do with the same theme of the full moon ending and with a conversation that was rough earlier in the month when Mercury in Libra squared Pluto in Capricorn. Did I say 11th house? Oh, yeah, because never mind. Because it's Libra. So, yeah, squaring. Okay, so let me see where I was. Okay, whatever the conversation. Okay, so whatever the conversation that happened, then we'll now see the action or consequences of that conversation, letter, agreement, or maybe it was like uh, an official document, a verdict, a law, something in the order of the government, maybe. Whether you are on the outside siding with this friend or attributing it to a friend of the past, or whether it is you who was ostracized. Um, yes, there will be a feeling of, see, you got what you deserve. But will that make you, he, she, or they feel vindicated? Or will it make you feel like the winner takes all, or what a shame that no one sees a loss for everyone? That is Libra and the karma of about 18 or 19 years ago. And, or more recently, from last year, September through November. This loop is coming to a close early in January when the nodes come out of Libra and Aries. So that karma is being now paid or paying out. That is one thing to look forward to. And like I said, a resurrection or a new event regarding friends groups will take place in spring. So that's that. The other main thing that starts in the latter half of October is the sun entering Scorpio and the light being shined on your joint finances. Okay. And hit, or I'm sorry, rather your daily habits, your routines, um, your health, and a need for a better schedule because you are in service to others in this house, in the Scorpio house. That's your sixth house. Um, so the talk was here earlier in October, and now you'll see some action regarding this. Maybe you're setting up a new schedule. A new moon in Scorpio on November 1st will seed a new way forward here. Okay. We will also have Mars in Cancer sextiling Uranus in Taurus. What you are doing about a home and family situation is a surprising illumination regarding uh, your past, maybe mm, uh, past psyche or history. It could come up with an ingenious way from your past experience that helps your family values or helps you with your job or income. Okay. Mars will be in Cancer for a very long time, until April of next year. So I just caution, um, uh, because Mars is the god of war, and Cancer is your second house of job and income. So I just caution, being the first to throw a stone, because when it goes retrograde, that may come back at you. Or if you make a decision about your job or income, when it goes retrograde, it might get reversed or delayed. So that's just the only caution I have for you on that. And I will discuss Mars and Cancer more in November. So I will stop here and save the exciting new and maybe even shocking surprise regarding a foreigners from a different land, but maybe same language, and a relocation for you that jolts you in November. That will be your November scope. So good things are coming, okay? I don't want any despondent Geminis. You guys don't look good when you're despondent. You don't do that. You're always happy and carefree. All right. So take care of yourselves, Gemini. We'll talk to you in November. Hi, Cancer. Okay. So Cancer, there was an ending. I hope you've listened to the intro because it'll explain why I'm just jumping into this. But if you haven't, try to listen to that, or you can listen to it after. It's up to you. So there was an ending or fired up desire to end something about your career, status, reputation, bosses or authority figures, maybe publishing endeavors, and or the World Wide Web, or a powerful figure or authority um, was the one who initiated this ending for you. This was opposed by or in opposition um, with an aspect of your family, parents, home, house, apartment, renovation, your country, or your patriotism. You may have felt it personally or through a family or extended family member, which, because you are such an empathetic creature, it felt very, very emotional or heartbreaking. Um, Even if it was someone else, you felt like you were going through it. You, Cancer, cannot be happy if one of your family members is unhappy. And thus, some of you who are despondent, and that's the scope of my video if you listen to the intro. I'm just trying to reach out to the despondent and despairing Cancers um, because of this fallout. But as you only know, because you feel both extremes of love and hate. An ending or loss makes you appreciate that much more a beginning or a new thing. And that is why I encourage Cancerians not to rise to any conflict as well, because Mars is in your sign. Plus, there is either a regeneration or a new beginning regarding this career status in spring 2025. Okay. Um, with Mars in your sign for almost 7 months. Wow. It's usually there only a few weeks. I am still advising you to not be the first to cast stones, um, because Mars is like take no prisoner. It's just straight up action, it doesn't talk. So when Mars turns retrograde, because it will, those stones might come back at you and you'll be dodging left and right. Besides, you have a very solid family foundation that strongly nurtures you, or you can expend that negative energy of a loss or hurt into nurturing the family. I know it might feel like this ending, like you might feel like you're no longer part of the family, or somebody else in the family feels they're no longer part of the family, but that's not the case. As I have already mentioned in your full moon in Aries video, which I have a link in the comments, this was somehow out of your hands, or out of the hands of the group or the family. As an authority figure or powerful entity was the final, uh, let's say, arbitrator that handed down like a decisive ending, or it had to do with government. In any case, have faith in God and the universe that this first had to come about for a new or a rebirth in spring regarding the same thing. Biding your time by licking your wounds in the meantime will not be healthy for you nor the family. Till then, actively engaging in strategic planning, or maybe for some, family therapy might help, okay? Now, for your October, mid October to late October scope, early this week, the Sun in Libra will square Pluto in Capricorn. So, who will eat crow here? Maybe the real question should be, no one would like eating a cold dish of crow. Not your partner, not family, enemy, nor you. If you put yourself in each position, and you're empathetic, you can feel that. But there justice is being served here, even though it will feel good having someone eat crow. I mean, I'll say I would feel good about it, but we're not supposed to. And like I said earlier, you're empathetic. So whoever is getting there just deserves. Again, with Mars in your sign, you don't want to be the one to saying na 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 na. Remember, Mars will turn retrograde. And if that feeling doesn't turn against you, there will be some kind of delay, okay, regarding something about your appearance, about how you act, okay? Finally, Mars in your sign will sextile Uranus in Taurus. Ooh, lovely. Almost similar to Gemini, where an ingenious friend or group boosts your image, or what you are in a rush about regarding how you appear. It may include something about plastic surgery or maybe even money. And I will end it there. I'm saving the big new shocking surprise regarding your friends, a group, clique, and regarding your hopes, wishes, and dreams for your November scope. You're going to see a big bump there. So I will see you then, Cancer, in November. You take care of yourself. Hi, Leo. Okay, I hope you heard the intro so you'll know um, why I'm jumping straight into this. But if you did not, you can listen to it after you hear your sign, but try to listen to it. It'll help you navigate. So there was an ending or a push for independence from maybe higher education, long distance travel, travel in the mind, meaning an intellectual mind travel, not daydreaming. That's another house. Your philosophy or your view of foreigners or foreign lands, which was opposed or in opposition, where you were restrained somehow by your short distance commuting, um, your commuting in general, your communication devices. For most of you, it was that, navigating that, social media as well, and neighbors or the neighborhood also were restraining for you. um, Leo, you do have a lot of emotional things going on, so um, I will just explain that as you are an authority figure, a father figure, even if you're a woman, it's just the saying, a father figure. You rule the fifth house of love and children, which is Sagittarius for you. Sagittarius is an independent soul, searching sign. You don't usually roar at your children or younger people as much as you do for them. So, for example, let's take Aries as a father, and you as a father. Aries would be more demanding of their children, or some of them may be intolerant of any mistakes. You would be uh, it, like really generous, or too compassionate for their own good, is what I'm trying to say. So, because this full moon was in Aries, your ninth house of philosophy, and Sagittarius naturally rules the ninth house of philosophy, for almost all of you, this ending had to do with something about children or the younger generation, and double that if you have Sagittarius degrees in your chart, or academia. Now, I'm not going to go into the different scenarios as that was done in your full moon in Aries video. Um, but if you listen to the intro here, what I'm doing is I'm concentrating more on the PTS or the post traumatic stress fallout of the full moon because some signs are having more difficulty than others. There's a despondency, and I'm trying to reach out to those signs, to those people in each sign. And I am going to do the latter half of October scope as well. But now, getting back to your ninth house ending, and for most, it had to do with a younger generation. The despondency may have to do with maybe feeling like you have failed either yourself or this younger person. Or you could be feeling that through someone else who lost something, like maybe this younger person. It's still like um, you're you're questioning your philosophy because it was somehow involved. Okay. um, or some decisions you've made that you think were your fault because of this person had a loss, something along those lines. Like I said, I'm not going to get into different scenarios, but couple that with Pluto's lingering degrees of Capricorn, basically affecting your work schedule and routine, where you may have been lost to what is going on around you or missing some clues regarding your health and maybe a scheduling, service to others, um, or a pet or pets were involved. It is a little complicated for you, but that is why Pluto is back, um, empowering you through your sixth house for a little bit longer because it leaves in late November. Meaning, any feeling of inadequacy, for lack of better words, or failure can be surmounted two ways with Pluto's empowerment. First, employ a specific or regulated schedule, so like 8 hours of sleep, work, and play, which will actually free you up to feel like you are in control of things, and especially your mind, where you can balance the way you commute or the way you are being heard, or um, the neighbors. Maybe those are overwhelming, but that's going to change pretty soon for you. A neighborhood change is coming up for you. Um, where was it? And second, know that there is a renewal or a new path come spring 2025 regarding this ninth house deal, higher education, philosophy, or even long distance travel, or even a regeneration regarding this young person or a new way forward. In other words, take this downtime um, to strategize how you will approach this new deal or regeneration regarding your or another's higher education, philosophy, etc., instead of feeling despondent. And you have the power of Pluto and a relocation of some kind. So that's going to keep you a little busy. After all, Sagittarius is all about hope and seeing something half full, yeah? Or almost there. So switch your philosophy to that mentality um, to get out of any despondent feelings because there is a bright new beginning in the spring. Now, you don't have to wait that long either because now I'll get to the latter half of the October horoscope. So we see a square from the Libra sun to Pluto and Capricorn for the last time in our lifetimes. So a letter, text, email, maybe a conversation or agreement regarding your neighborhood, commute, or the way you are heard will have a breakthrough judgment, if you will, regarding your health and service to others. We saw the communication earlier in the month. Now we're going to see the action. Actually, the sun is shining a light on it. So someone or something may well be shrink down to size here, and it'll feel like you are justified. The action starts right after. Okay, a move, relocation, or a new communication will come out of this. Just remember that it has to be fair, first to you, then others. And we also have Mars in Cancer, sextiling Uranus in Taurus, remembering an incident maybe from the past that may have involved your family is giving your career and status a boost that surprises either you or authority figures here. Mars will be in Cancer for a long time, 7 months, where it usually just takes a few weeks. So just remember, though, with Mars, um, it doesn't talk, it's just all about action. And because Mars will be here in a long time, it will retrograde. So um, the retrograde period is where I'm going to let you know that whatever you're racing through in your hidden 12th house of the psyche or your past or the history, um, just don't rise to a conflict within yourself, because it'll affect your health, and because what you understand now may be reversed or delayed somehow. Maybe you get a recurring dream with the retrograde. But it is a water sign, so it's more calming than not. And Mars is in its fall here. Does not do well in water signs, so it will be a little muted. But I'm just letting you know that with a retrograde, you might get a eureka moment or a reversal of what you thought about your past. Um, so career status either okay. So that is all that's happening in the latter half of the month, and I will end it here as a shocking new partnership who or a very quirky kind of uh, partner will appear out of the blue who will empower you, or you will have the power um, through them. So is the theme of your November scope, and I will save that for then, because it is a big bump for you regarding your partnership house come mid-November, and it's exciting and revolutionary. So tune in then, okay, Leo? Do take care of yourself and your health, please, and walk. If you don't have any exercise, walking can really relieve stress. I will talk to you in November.